sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice the fun. And with sacrificing the fun, it might not be as long as you think it'd be, but sometimes you just really have to do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like you're in a place of life where you're facing adversity right now, it's like you have this, there's a version of you that you want to become, or there's these goals or tiers, you know, these milestones that you want to reach, but you're not currently there yet. It's like you gotta think, like, you know, what are your daily habits? Like, what do you do a day to day? You know what I'm saying? Do you watch Netflix a lot? Do you play video games? Do you just, you know, hang out, you know, just not really doing anything productive? It's like, sometimes when you have that goal, you have to really think, like, why am I not achieving this? You know what I mean? In anything, you know what I'm saying? It could be with fitness, it could be with money, it could be with girls. Like, you just gotta think to yourself. And with all these aspects, it's like there's certain specific standards that you need to meet in order to acquire the means to become that. You know what I mean? And eventually it gets easier, but in the beginning, it takes hard work to even get to that place. It takes being structured, it takes being level-headed, it takes planning, it takes consistency, consecutive days doing the same thing regardless of the outcome at the end of the day, at the end of the session of what you did. A lot of times you're just gonna have to really train yourself to have that one-track mind to do a task with no interruptions, because if you're not used to doing the action just yet, you are going to have to do what is necessary for that to feel natural within yourself. A lot of times, you know, like I said, a lot of times we're gonna like hang out with our friends, we're gonna go out to eat, and you know what I'm saying, just do all this stuff, but it's like, what do we do to deserve it? You know what I mean? Like, you might be thinking about, like, why am I not in the shape I want to be? Why am I not getting this girl? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what did you do to deserve it? You know what I mean? It's like, you got to really think deep. Like, sometimes when it comes to the working out aspect, it's like, are you working out every day? Are you, you know, focusing on your routines? Are you eating well? Are you pushing past your limits weekly? You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's like that quote that they said back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Work now, play later. And it's true. You do have to get to this point of, I would even say, sacrifice to get to that extent. Now, mind you, a lot of times it really isn't that deep. If you just want to, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to just be in shape to be healthy, you don't have to do this mundane task or, you know, whatever. You just got to make sure you do a little bit of jogging, running every day, do slight push-ups like 3 times a week, and you know what I'm saying, just eat remotely healthy and you're good. But if you want a true change, you're gonna have to sacrifice. A lot of people not gonna understand that, but I feel like if you reach a level of adversity, if you're going to the same repetitive situations over and over and over again, over and over and over again, over and over and over again, why are you chilling? You know what I mean? Like, even with this money stuff, it's like, why are you spending? Like, basically, you have to find a way to rewire yourself to build a reward system, just like how we used to have it with school. You know what I'm saying? You get good grades, you might get that video game you wanted. You get good grades, you know what I'm saying? They might throw a party for you. Somewhere down the line, I feel like, you know, parents probably fell off with that. I mean, everyone's living situation is different, but I feel like as adults, it gets a little bit harder to be accountable of that kind of stuff. There's so many different distractions, so many people want to do this, that, and the third. And I feel like from my perspective, it's just kind of like when you, I know this is taking the topic to like females and stuff, but it's like, or even people, it's just like you can do so much for people, but you ever had that situation where you're doing so much for people, but that one time you say no, the one time you don't pull through, you know what I'm saying? They don't choose you. They're going, you know, they're gonna bite the hand that fed them. They're gonna be turning everything. And you gotta understand, a lot of times people gravitate towards the value you can provide for them. You don't want to be a half-empty cup, you know what I'm saying? Like, sure, say in the female perspective, you might be pulling girls, but you might not be pulling who you want to pull. And when you get yourself into that atmosphere, you realize the type of guys she's with, the stuff that they do, you know, take her on trips, all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, you have to understand, if you want to get to that level, you're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to make more money, get a better job, find some side hustles, whatever the case may be. Get your money up, get your wardrobe up. It takes time. It's a developmental stage that you need to go through, but it's gonna be what's required to get to that point. You have to put a standard towards yourself. People may view you a certain way, but that doesn't define who you are, you know what I'm saying? People could think of you one way or another, you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about any time any of your friends, family had a very condescending comment, phrase, you know, just about you. Just be like, oh, you're always watching TV all the time. Oh, you're always eating them chips, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You can change the narrative, but a lot of times it's gonna require sacrifice. You're gonna have to work hard. If you wanna look like Michael B. Jordan, who else? I don't even really think about like fitness influencers and shit like that. But just say like The Rock, even though that's like a little like far-ended and shit. It's like you're gonna have to put the work in, man. You're gonna have to work out day in, day out, or weekly, but intensely, consecutively. You gotta keep doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, as far as standards, I would even say 3 months minimum. Try to keep this momentum. And sometimes it's hard. Like I said, distractions is really the thing that throws you off your game. But you have to always remember, you don't deserve anything. You need to have value to deserve. Like, what did you complete today? What did you complete throughout the week? You have to trick yourself. Like, your daily tasks, like you might watch Netflix every day, and you might be a big person, you want to get skinnier. How about this? Make sure you jog 3 to 5 miles a day before you watch TV, before you watch that YouTube video. Make sure you do, I don't know, 25, 50, or even dividing the sets, 100 push-ups a day before you get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Do a 30-minute workout before you get something to eat. It's not to say that you have to hold back so much, but you have to build a reward system within yourself. You have to understand everything is not granted for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to work for what you want. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you won't think that you're just gonna be this swole person, this successful person. No, it doesn't come like that. You have to work for it. You have to build it up. You have to risk the reward. You do a risk, you get rewarded. And you have to train your brain to be like that. Over some time, it will become a natural act. And once it's a natural act, you become better, you become valuable. People gravitate towards you. And that's the thing. So at the end of the day, all I'm really trying to say is, in this life, you're really gonna have to sacrifice the fun to get to where you wanna be, man. Sacrifice the fun for the work. Doesn't mean you can't have fun, but you gotta put the work in first. If you don't, same situation, same loops. Gonna keep going through the same scenarios over and over and over again. Yeah, that's all I have to say, man. It's your boy Lowkey. I want to cut you, dig what I'm saying. And we sign out.
Ask me if you were someone I should have messed with. To be honest, I don't even know. I just go with the flow, keeping on my hopes. Don't regret what I did.